Good morning, everybody. Wee Paddy from across the shuck, and another wee video coming back at you this morning. And this is I only got this knife about 4 days ago, 5 days ago. It's probably the last knife I'm going to get before Christmas. And I'd already picked a budget knife of the year, and this is just taking it away. It's that good, as our friend across the shuck would say. It's that good. Now, I can see you see a Para 3 in front of you. That's not the budget knife of the year, but that's one of the best comparisons I can put this knife up against for any price. But we'll see what you think of that as it goes on. I'll take this away for the minute. The second thing that I want to say here is that Zen Ali, who's a very good friend of Warthog, sent me a little message saying Warthog is doing as well as can be expected. He's recovering slowly at home, waiting to go back into hospital again for further treatment. But he might even do a wee video for us. That is not a promise. He might even do it. It's just a might at the minute. He's having a rough time. He's battling. Oh, he's battling great things at the minute, but he is battling, and that is the whole point. And that's the Warthog I know. You know, that's the fella that I like and know. I don't know why I put that up there. Anyway, that's great news, and I want to wish him all love from the whole community, and I want to speak on behalf of a lot of people who are missing him and wishing him and sending him prayers to do the best he can, and God willing, we'll get to maybe hear from him. So, let's get back. Budget knife of the year. What's a budget knife of the year, Paddy? That's a budget knife of the year. That's the budget knife of the year, and to be honest with you, I'm not even going to show any more. I'm not going to show any more because in locking knives, that's the budget of the year. I haven't got another budget knife in my collection that I got this year, and it can only be what I've got this year. So I haven't got another one that can match that or come close to it. It's the Kubey. Now, I have never, well, I had a Kubey. I had one, but it was an older model, quite heavy, but a nice knife, beautiful knife. That's going to somebody who I know anyway, but this knife is staying with me because this is cracking. This was sent to me by Kubey. They contacted me and said, look, would you like to review some of our knives? And for a bigger company that really only sells in America or probably China and everywhere, but they don't really, I don't see many people from the UK having them or Europe. But that's going to change, I think, because Kubey have sent this for review. And I can keep the knife, it's mine. It will by no means reflect what I think. This is a budget knife. You know, I don't need a whole lot of budget knives in my collection. So it would pay me no dividends to say this is a great knife. And if it wasn't, it would not be sitting here. I'd already picked my budget knife. But I put it next to this knife. This is the Para 3, and this is the Kubey KU122A. That's probably its best comparison. And do you want to know something? This is a special Spyderco. This is an M390 G10 scales because I don't like the plastic scales at all on the lightweight model. Excuse me. This is in G10 and this is in D2. And I'm going to tell you, I'm getting really tired of you need such and such a blade steel to do any job. That's just a lot of twaddle. And I'm going to start just being more direct about it. I'm tired of listening to it. Oh, the only best steel I'm going to have. And look, I've done this in the past. So this is getting at anybody and everybody who starts to run things down because there's too much of it. What a lot of nonsense. For years upon years, there was either carbon steel or 420 or 440, you know, and that was good enough for our forefathers to build countries. So let's just get this out of the system. Get it out of my system. This is a Kubey. Look, the thing that people like about this is the hole and its flickability from the hole and its ability to just open up slowly if you want it. Nice lock release. Oh. There we go. The nice way to open it. It's got obviously that, look at this. This is so much easier to do. I don't play with them as much anymore. And when you don't play with something as much, you lose that ability to do it. I don't flick things that much anymore because it wouldn't be part of my life, to be honest with you. It's all right for videos and things like that, but it wouldn't be part of my life. But this opens much easier. This is a liner lock, really well locked up. Good sized liner, very strong, no fears whatsoever. I can batter that. It's not going to break. It's not going to move. There's just, look, it's absolutely beautiful. So, why is it going to get Knife of the Year? It's going to get Knife of the Year. Let me just show you the blade shapes, because I'm going to do this a lot. Now, you can see that the Para 3 has a bigger belly. But let me just show you, do not be fooled too much by the bigger belly. This is why I had this ruler. I just want to show you the profile of this knife on its point. Look at that, right? Look how far you can get down. A real good distance because you've got that nice rocking ability, yeah? For whatever cut you want to do. The thing about this blade shape is this point rises up to meet the blade. It's not a Wharncliffe, it's not straight, and it's not a dagger because this is bowed. Now, let me just show you this knife down. Oh, look how far I can get down on the board with this knife compared to the PM2. Look at the rocking motion. It's at least as good as that. So don't give this away as, oh, there's no belly. There's a belly on it, but it's hidden so well in the design of the knife. You know, this looks like it would be a great belly for slicing and cutting. This is a great slicer and cutter. Behind the edge, this is thinner than this by quite a big margin, let me tell you. So slicing ability, let me just show you. I want you to listen rather than look, because slicing is all in the sound of the cut. This is M390. Listen to this. Oh. Perfect, isn't it? Sounds absolutely perfect. Listen to the sound of this. Same bit of paper. I'm just moving up. Now, I think that's quieter. Well, and I know by feel that it cuts through the paper easier than what that Para 3 did, right? Much thinner behind the edge, full flat ground. This is, look at the thickness of the spine to this. Look at the tip. Look how delicate that tip is. So, to me, the cutting ability. Now, the next thing is comfort in hand. You've got more grip on the Para 3. I've got them about level because you've got that forward choil, so you can get up close enough to the blade. With this knife, I'm close enough to the blade. If I wanted to, I could sneak up there, but I can't see me ever wanting to. That's close enough. That's not that far away. The clip is a deep pocket carry clip, which you have to buy for the Para 3. Lovely clip. Now, it's not recessed, but this is a budget knife. We haven't even got to the price yet. Steel liners, thick, sturdy, so this will be able to push through most things that you're ever going to want to as an EDC knife. And I'm not putting this as a heavy work knife, but then again, I'm not putting this as a heavy work knife. It's a great EDC knife and one of my favourite ever. It still is, but this is a budget competition. This is a slight bit thicker. If I put these up at the base here, you can see that, let me get that up. There we go. It's a slight bit thicker than the Para 3. Again, this is a budget knife. This one in the M390 is near 200. Well, it's about $200. This is $50, 40 quid. $50, 40 quid. Nearly 200 for that. This cuts better than that. Just genuine truth, sorry. If you had one, you would know. But I hope you're going to go out and get one. And then you'll confirm to me that this is a nicer slicer. Completely full flat ground like that. Blade shape not unsimilar. This belly is bigger than what you think. You can get down to, you can get down on a board more of this than you can the Para 3 because of the way that it's built, the ergonomics. So the handle is very bland. The Para 3, sometimes people don't like the bellies. I do like the belly. This fits me perfect, but so does this. This is comfortable. The clip on this is nicer to hold. Look at that big flat spot on the top where they've bent it over. Still enough room to get in and out of jeans. Absolutely no problem. Eddie, stop crying, boy. But an absolutely beautiful grip. And I say, I can just sneak up there. If I really needed to, I can. As long as I'm pulling back, the ways, I can hold there quite comfortable. But there again, I'm using knives a whole lot. Maybe a lot of people don't. But I can get away with everything I want to there. The reach is great. Same as the Para 3. I can get right up to the end for doing detailed work. Beautiful point, like the Para 3. Now, here's the bit that I'm going to make the point for this. To buy this before you buy a Para 3. Because I honestly think if I had got this, no, I probably wouldn't, because everybody wants to get a Para 3, don't they? So let's not tell fibs. Or a Para 2, whichever. They're both in that genre. What I'm going to tell you is for £40, $50, this works every bit as good as this. The fit and finish on this is every bit as good as that. In fact, look at that beautiful pivot pin. That's nicer looking than what you're going to get there with the holes and a stupid, just look at that. Look at that fit and finish. Look at the back of it. Fit and finish, beautiful. Just 2 pins up here, you clip. 2 pins here, you clip. And it goes back and forward as well. You can go left or right. So it's left or right friendly. And yes, you've got the liner lock, which is for right-handed, but it can be used easily by anybody who's left-handed. Listen to that lockup of this wee knife. It is stunning. It just locks in there. Absolutely no movement. And I mean none. None. Now, the difference is whether you really want this backlock that Spyderco do. I've lost the ability to do Spydercos. I never use them now. Or not that I never use. I don't even bother. I use them, but I don't flick them out anymore. So, budget knife of the year. Let's take this out of the way. Because people are going to say, oh, Paddy, you're talking a lot of trouble. Well, here's another 2 knives that I can compare this to. This one, which is a Three Rivers, which is one of the most sought after knife brands in America at the moment. I was lucky enough to get this one. This is one of their original ones, slip joint. But the blade shape, again, I picked it to show you because of the blade shape. Look at that. There's next to no difference in that either. This is supposed to be one of the sliciest knives on the market. No slicier than that. I'm sorry. It just isn't. Not worth, talking about. This is in CPM 154. Again, a great steel. D2. There's another one. Here's another knife that everybody wants, the Bug Out. Again, I'm going to put it up. Blade shape. Yeah, it's a little bit different, but not much. If you noticed, all 3 of them blade shapes, all 3 are very similar. They all have a bit of belly. This is a sort of hidden belly, which got me excited. This is in D2. What's the difference between D2, S30V, CPM 194 and M390? This is not a powder metal. That's the difference. Is this a good working hard use knife? Yeah. D2 is a fantastic working edge. It keeps an edge really well. Very, very similar on edge retention as S30V, which is a powder metal. But D2 is just under that. Will the knife rust? Yes, if you wet it and leave it to sit. I don't oil over here. I live in Northern Ireland, which is a pretty wet country, but it's not a humid country. So D2 doesn't really rust on me, unless I do something stupid like leave it lying wet outside or don't dry it after use. Always clean your knives after use anyway, just makes sense. If you want to put a bit of oil on it, if you live in a humid country, you need to put a bit of oil on it because it's bead blasted and it probably will rust. That's the nature of D2. But a bit of oil solves that. As long as you do it, you're fine. I just honestly believe that this is one of the best budget priced knives that I have ever bought. Or not, I didn't buy this one actually. But if I'd bought it, the £40 would be completely well spent. There's a lovely hole for the opening on this. It really is. The only thing you have on the blade is the QB sign there and D2 on the other side. Absolutely fantastic. Do I need those other great steels? No, I genuinely don't. For EDC, I don't. I'm never going to, or I'm very rarely going to blunt a D2 steel blade in any of my day's work. If I was going to be after Christmas, maybe Christmas Eve, and I'm going to break down a whole stack of boxes, this will get me through it. And the geometry, which is even more important to me, the geometry will get me through cardboard when it's blunt. But I'll not blunt it because D2 is a good enough steel. I haven't even felt the need to sharpen this yet. Look how thin that blade grind is. I would say that's probably about 20 degrees, 18 to 20 on that, and you can hardly see it. It is a fantastic, fantastic knife. Honestly, the fit and finish, it's beveled all the way round. There's nothing that digs into you. You've got a little ramp there, which is not as aggressive as the Para 3 ramp. You can see hello, again, there's not a whole lot of difference. This knife just bluffs you. It bluffs you into thinking it's a Wharncliffe style blade. It definitely isn't. You've seen that. It's not a Wharncliffe. Look at that rock that you can get on that. It is fantastic. The hole is fantastic. The ramp is perfect for my finger, so I can do whatever I want. Not a pry bar, but neither's a PM2, neither's a bug out, neither's a Three Rivers manufacturing. Not they're slimmer knives anyway. These are EDC knives that are going to do cuts where they're precision. Couldn't get the P's out. It's a precision. This will do all that. If you work with artist materials and things like that, you want to go into that creative thing for cutting out delicate pieces of art or whatever it is. Pictures, cloth, it just goes through anything. It's so sharp, and I haven't even so much as stropped that since I got it. So it's coming from QB sharp. Perfect. Eddie, stop. Eddie's mummy's gone out and he's not happy. So the reason why this is Knife of the Year, my simple reason is this is as good as these three knives as an EDC knife, the blade material, which is D2, and it's Rockweld at about 59 to 61, which is perfect for D2. This knife rivals all these in use. In looks, that's debatable because looks is very, very personal. I think it's a lovely looking knife. I like that sort of dagger shaped. But it's a working EDC knife, and that's what you're going to buy it for. And even if you have higher end knives, if you want a beater EDC for £40 or £50, $50, you just are not going to beat that. I haven't found anything in 5 years that's as good as that, has got the geometry of a knife, that has got a blade steel of D2, which is absolutely fine. Stop thinking you have to go to these big higher steels. Yes, if you want to, that's fine. But as an EDC knife, are you going to get any more out of it? No, you're not. You really are not. Even HCR 13 lasts me all day. And if the geometry is good on the knife, it'll go through cardboard, which, let's be honest, we open boxes, cut cardboard with a knife. Most of us do most of our days. So when you're going to the bigger blades, it's because you want to and you want to experience that steel. That is I understand that fully because I do it myself. But I think I've learned since I've gone to slip joints that 440A gets me through my day as long as the geometry's good and there's a good edge on it. So there you go. So before Eddie cries us all into submission, thank you very much so far. I have a couple more of these to do, but for Budget Knife of the Year, this Kubey KU122A is fantastic. I will put a link down below which will take you straight to the QB site. Go there. I highly, highly recommend this knife. I really do. Probably more than most things that I recommend. This is phenomenal. And when you get it, be sure to come back and let me know what you think of it. Because I want other people to let you know, especially people out there who your money is tight. And your $40 or £40, $50 has to go a long way because £50 is the top of my budget. If it's a knife that has to go a long way for the money, you're not going to beat this. This is worth saving a couple of months for if that's where your budget is. It's worth it. Genuinely. I've seen a lot of QBs over in the States. I'm just starting to get to them. I'm hoping QB will send me more to review, because I think if they're anything like this, I'll be more than happy to review them. Thank you so much. Knife of the year. I'll take these other 3 off. And they were genuinely comparison knives as far as cutting, fit and finish, and looks for me. That there was in good company. But it wasn't a company that would leave it behind. Take care, everybody. Another one down and dusted. Bye-bye. See you in the next one. Cheers now.